Welcome to the Fishbowl Radio, everybody. My name is Chief here, and joining me today is Juicy. We're going to be talking about recapping LSU baseball versus Kentucky and the Louisiana Ragin Cajuns and their series loss to Troy. So that's all a big mess going on in the Sun Belt standings with that as well. We're also going to be talking about LSU softball and Louisiana Ragin Cajun softball. But to kick off everything, let me introduce everybody to Juicy. How you doing today, Juicy?
Oh, I'm good. How you doing?
I think we're doing very well over here at the Fishbowl so far today. Okay, let's talk about the Cajuns first. They lost the series to Troy. So if you look at Sun Belt standings, okay, and how all that plays out right now, the Cajuns have a live RPI update of 76 right now. Their strength of schedule is 120. And I mentioned this before that I don't really know. The Cajuns are looking more and more like a bubble NCAA team because they're right on that edge of that 64 RPI, and you're at 76. You're kind of bouncing back and forth. The good thing with Troy is they have an RPI of 35, so it doesn't hurt you too bad. But if you could have stole one of those wins today, it'd have been really good since they played both of them today because they got canceled due to weather yesterday. But they're going to go on the midweek trip to LSU, RPI of 3. If they could steal that game against LSU, that'd be a huge boost to RPI. Then you got James Madison with their RPI of 152. That's not going to help you too much there. But if you could win the regular season Sun Belt title, that is also something that will benefit the Cajuns as well. They're not completely out of it yet, but I think they need to start winning some games here to really put themselves in that. Wait, what you were you gonna say, Juicy?
I said all they gotta do is win the tournament, they'll be guaranteed.
Oh yeah, that's all you have to do here. So, and let's update the standings here. So, here's how the Sun Belt standings look. Here, Southern Miss played Old Dominion, so they move up from that fourth spot to third, tied right there with the Cajuns. They have almost an identical record across the overall record there. Coastal Carolina leads it by one game over the Cajuns here. So, regardless what happens in the midweek game here with LSU, the Cajuns could lose that game, and it probably wouldn't hurt them too bad, honestly, in the grand scheme of things. But they got to. I think they need to sweep James Madison. They're 5-8. You got to sweep that team. If you can sweep them, that'll be really good for you. Then you got Southern, then you got Northwestern State. If you can win those 5 games, then you gotta. If you can, they're going to be in Lafayette. Coastal Carolina's RPI is 9. If the Cajuns can win 2 or 3 against Coastal Carolina, they would own the tiebreaker over them and win the regular season Sun Belt title if they could hold on and beat Texas State and Southern Miss here. So the tough part of the Cajun schedule from here on out in terms of Sun Belt play is starting now. So let's talk about this Let's talk about this review of this Troy game here. Friday night, it got Cajuns were just kind of getting. They lost 9-6 to Troy here. The 6th inning of Troy really opened it up. They got 3 runs in the 6th, and it just wasn't really working out that well for the Cajuns here. So they tied each other in hits here. I say it before here. I think pitching is a concern for the Cajuns. I don't think they have enough of it. Quality arms to go way deep, in the NCAA tournament this year. That's what my fear is. But that's just kind of what it seems like it's going this year. So, what you think, Juicy?
Yeah, I agree. I mean, the pitching's really what's hurting them. I mean, if you really boil it down, I mean, there's nothing else you can really pin it on. I mean, pitching, like, I just reiterate what you said. I mean, the pitching ain't right now. At least right now, they ain't got the pitch unless somebody, the bullpen or people start stepping up or whatever. But until then, it's just gonna be a struggle.
Yeah, that's the thing here. So, there's a lot with that going on there. The Cajuns have the hitting down. They really do. There's also something else we need to talk about, Juicy. And I know you saw it on Facebook. I know you saw it on Twitter. What you think of this new mascot idea for the Ragin Cajuns?
I think it's cool that if they actually get an official mascot, kind of bring more of a like an official, like legitimate atmosphere. I mean, like I guess
You think that the white alligator is a good move?
I think it'd be pretty cool.
You think it'd be
I
pretty
think
cool?
so. I mean, I don't.
Man, like it's so weird. Like it seems like okay, so Facebook typically has an older crowd and a lot like you've seen the comments on our page. They're like, no, how about no? How about we stop this topic from even being talked about here? Someone mentioned that the fans, there's a reason why they put the fans as the mascot, but I think it's just unimaginative. Like, it's just like something that's not really there. We posted about one of my ideas was it'd be kind of cool to have a Rougarou running around causing mayhem at the Cajun Field, Cajun Dome, wherever else just do like little pranks on like people that are willing to participate in that because it's Cajun folklore. It's literally right there to Rougarou. When children are misbehaving, they're gonna send the Rougarou after them to make them sure they behave right. It's basically a werewolf running around. And you can get someone like the alligator to step in and stop the prank from happening. It'd be funny, like you see the mascot fights and stuff. It'd be kind of like one of those things, like kind of like Dora and Swiper, with the swiping, no swiping. The gator saves the day in every single prank situation. Or it looks like the Rougarou is gonna win, or like in the ninth inning, the alligator catches up to him or something, and they do something. I think it's a neat idea. I think it's something we need to kind of look at. Maybe an alligator isn't the best move, honestly. I still rather the Cajun chicken because I think he kind of more embodies the fan base more. Where the new people seem like they like the Cajun chicken, and the older generation of Cajun fans like the Cajun chicken. So I think it's a good like middle ground for us to have happen. So we'll see what happens here. But like Hammond, as far as pitching for the Cajuns, Hammond has been struggling here, so um, it's not a good. It wasn't a good like day basically for the Cajuns to lose the series.
I'm looking down the schedule. UL got a chance to really boost their RPI with Coastal Carolina. Their RPI 9. Southern Miss has RPI 15.
That's what I'm saying. But they look like they're on the bubble. Like they really are there. LSU at 3. It's gonna move up. It don't matter if they win or lose LSU. Their RPI is going to move up this week.
RPI. How RPI is measured actually. I don't know if you know or not.
I think it's if you play higher rated teams, you get a higher rated RPI.
The other night it's measured by your winning percentage, your opponent's winning percentage, and your opponent's winning percentage.
Yeah.
So that's how it's calculated.
So if you have play a higher quality competition with your strength of schedule and the winning percentage of your opponent here, that helps out. So like High Point, Jackson State, that High Point at 236 loss, that hurts. Just these teams here are just really high over the 100 in RPI ratings, and that's not really good there. Cajuns are 2-5 in quadrant 1 games. They just won one of those today. Their other one was against Campbell earlier in the season as well. So
they got 4 quadrant 1 on the schedule still right here.
Let's look at predicted. I'm gonna look at predicted results and see where they got the Cajuns ending up this year. They got them finishing 37-19, 67 RPI, strength of schedule 82. So they have it coming down.
That's definitely a bubble team.
Yeah, it looks like this resume is definitely a bubble team if it follows through. Quadrant 1's predicted being the 6 and 7. So if you're gonna be one of those that you might get in, you might not. It's just, let's see. They got them losing LSU. They got them winning 2 or 3 against James Madison, which I think they could sweep James Madison. That's a possibility. They got to win the series against Coastal, which that would be a big win. So, and winning 2 or 3 against Texas State and winning 2 or 3 against Southern Miss, which earlier it had them losing in a sweep against Southern Miss, getting swept. But it's going to be one of those to see what happens there with the Cajuns here. So if the Cajuns can keep their bats really good. They should do very well. I think LSU is going to be a good measuring stick for LSU, and for other Cajuns in the midweek game coming up. So, well, let's predict this LSU Raging Cajun game. Then we'll go against James Madison picks here. So, I got the Cajuns losing to LSU in Baton Rouge. LSU just got two. They got pitching injuries, but I don't think LSU's got bigger bats than UL has. I think that's Louisiana's kind of like just looking at it like it's gonna be a good game. I think it'll be a good competition for LSU as well. But good midweek game I think for both schools. But I think LSU gets the win. What you thinking, Juicy?
I'm thinking as well LSU's gonna win. I mean, yeah, that LSU's gonna beat the Cajuns. I think the Cajuns will take 2 out of 3 from James Madison.
Yeah, I would. I feel like the Cajuns, if you look at that 152 RPI, measures up very well against Marshall and their 135 rating, and they lost a series against App State, and then they won 2 of 3. So it's kind of hard to tell what this team's gonna do. I got them sweeping James Madison. I'm gonna go with a sweep. I think they'll take the brooms out because it seemed like last year with Deggs and all them, they got real hot toward the end of the year. So we're at the midway point of the Sun Belt Conference season. So a sweep against James Madison would be huge, I think, because in terms of that conference standing, them getting 3 wins.
They haven't given me a reason to be confident in a full sweep yet.
I think they'll get it right. I mean, they did sweep Marshall. I mean, they have done that, and that was a higher rated RPI team compared to no, not it was. And I made a mistake. Coastal Carolina beat Old Dominion. That's what happened. That's why Southern Miss moved up. It wasn't Southern Miss. I was thinking of Southern Miss, and that was the correction I'm going to make here. So that's my fault. Anyway, so yeah, they have Coastal Carolina. They're playing Southern Miss, so they're getting in their tough part of the schedule. They played Old Dominion. They won 2 of 3. They won in 10 innings against Old Dominion today. Charleston, they played them in midweek, and they got Southern Miss. So this thing's going to get settled out in the next 2 series here. So I think the Cajuns get set up really well, though, because if they sweep James Madison, Coastal's playing Southern Miss. So you understand what's going on here. Southern Miss is sitting there tied for second with the Cajuns, and Coastal's leading the way there. So if Southern Miss takes 2 or Coastal takes 2, somebody's getting knocked down a peg somewhere. So like this next month is really going to determine what happens in the Sun Belt in terms of seeding for the Sun Belt Conference Championship game and positioning these guys in the spot where they need to be in. So anyway, switching gears to LSU now. LSU baseball won their series against Kentucky here. So as we go down and look at this here, I was shocked by the final score on Friday, losing 13-10 to Kentucky. But Kentucky had the #1 RPI in the country. Tigers took 2 of 3 against them. Kentucky had a really good ball club this year. So not something to hang your head about losing to anyway. But I think, like I said before, I think Tigers beat the Cajuns on Tuesday. We'll be watching, of course, as always. And then they got to take on the road and go to Ole Miss. I think they sweep Ole Miss. I think the Tigers sweep them.
The schedule on the back half much easier for LSU.
Yeah, you look at it, got Ole Miss, Alabama, Auburn, Mississippi State, and Georgia, them series here. Their highest rated RPI team they're playing against is Alabama currently right now, but them and Mississippi State could change. They're like Alabama's 22, Mississippi State's 23. I think LSU gets a sweep against Ole Miss though. I feel pretty confident in that one.
I think LSU's going to get a couple of sweeps here the back half of the schedule. They made it through the front half, which is the rough part.
Yeah, so right now, predicted record for LSU is 47-8 with an RPI of 6, 16-6 quadrant 1 record, and a 13-2 quadrant 2 record there. So, yeah, like that. that's very good odds of you hosting for sure. You're definitely hosting a regional. You're probably definitely gonna be hosting a super regional if you make it through your regional. So, it's got them beating the Cajuns 7-3. Got them winning 2-3 against Ole Miss. Got them sweeping Alabama, which I think would be the opposite here. Auburn, they got them sweeping Auburn. They got them winning 2-3 against Mississippi State. And they got them sweeping Georgia. Whereas the team in the middle of next week is Nichols. They should beat Nichols. So I got not much going on. LSU has to get their pitchers back healthy. That is something. And Gavin Dugas has an injury as well. That's
He's supposed to be back next week.
yeah, but Coach Talk Johnson didn't want to make a like, oh, we don't know if we're gonna. It's just coach. It's coach speak, So we'll see what happens here. How that injury kind of plays everything out and all that kind of stuff. So one of their big time hitters LSU had. So
yeah. LSU losing a whole bunch of games on the back half of the season.
Yeah, so we'll see. I wouldn't rush. I would not rush him back if he is more injured than they say, because you got a lighter schedule. LSU's got a lot of bats on this team, so I think they can kind of sit and like let their guys heal up and make sure they're 100% before they go.
Hey, you want to know something? If you want to learn something, you want to know a little trivia that's kind of ironic. It's kind of a little bit of irony, but it's funny at the same time.
Wait, shoot me with it, Juicy.
You know who Dylan Cruz hit his first collegiate home run off of?
Boy, you catch me on the spot. I'm not looking at the computer. I'm gonna try to do this.
It's Paul Skeens.
Boy, isn't that something? That is interesting. You learned that today?
No, I learned that. My brother sent me a video the other day, and I was like, because they were interviewing like both of them. They were talking about the date when Air Force came to Baton Rouge, and Paul Skeens pitched in and played catcher in the same game, and he hit it. And Dylan Cruz hit his first home run off of him.
That's interesting. That is very interesting. Yeah, so like the one thing about the Cajuns in this LSU matchup coming up here, so like it's like our game 2 guy. It's just like you did. So like today they were kind of struggling that first game of that doubleheader, with batting wise, So yeah, like the six is when everything fell apart in that game against Troy. So that's the one that really did damage. You got to look at that kind of stuff, and it's really the bullpen. I think the starters for the Cajuns are solid, except for Jake Hammond Friday night mostly. I think they could pull someone out of the bullpen to get going there. But yeah, that's the two we're gonna talk about. So we're gonna wrap this up real quick here. Let's go to softball here. Ragin Cajun softball brought the broom out and was sweeping them hallways against Texas State this past weekend. Big win for them in that Sun Belt Conference series here. We're going to switch it over to softball real quick here so we can pull up these softball standings to make sure we got everything up to date here and seeing what we got going on here. So softball, Cajuns are 14-1 in conference play. Marshall is in second place at 11-2, and Alabama's the third and 11-4. So the Cajuns lead it really well here. So with that here, it's interesting, right? So the Cajuns are going to be taking on Troy at Troy this upcoming weekend. I think they'll sweep Troy, to be honest with you. Just looking at what's going on there and everything else, not really much I think is going to really happen. Texas State's really the marquee school besides James Madison that you have to look out for in Sun Belt softball, because James Madison, but they're currently 5th right now. Troy is 4th, but I think they're going to get swept. Troy, I just don't see it being able to do much for them. Troy themselves, they're coming off of a series against James Madison, which they dropped 2 or 3 to them. So And with the Cajuns playing them earlier in the year and them getting a sweep against them earlier in the year, I don't see it, man. I got the Cajuns sweeping Troy. Who you got, Juicy, in that series?
Yeah, I agree with you. I mean, there ain't a whole lot. I think they'll easily. I think they'll get 2 sweeps in a row. Maybe make another weekend where they bring the brooms with them.
Yeah. So like the Cajuns have a great three group of pitchers: Sam Landry, Kendria Lamb, and Megan Shorman. They have like freshmen contributing there too. So they have about 5 pitchers that can go in there and do some damage if they need them to. So we'll see what happens with all that, right? So we'll see with all that, but I think they're gonna sweep. I really don't have much there, but like if you look at what's going on with the next couple of games and series, looking at wait, what?
I have a lot of confidence in them right now.
Oh, you have a lot of confidence. Okay, so here the next 3 series that the Cajun softball team is going to be playing. Louisiana is going to go on the road against Troy. Louisiana takes on Coastal Carolina, and then they got UOM at home to end their regular season play here. So really, and with Southeastern coming into town, Cajuns probably should win that one. Honestly, I know they had lost to Baylor and Texas A&M midweek, but they should rebound in their midweek game against Southeastern. So they have a total of, let's see, 6, 9, 10. They have 11 games left in the year. They're playing Southeastern on the 18th here. So, like, we're way past midway here. They're going to start playing Sun Belt Conference tournament. It's going to be in Lafayette.
Whoop, whoop.
So in about 3 weeks from now. So we're just keeping track of this team here. So I think they're gonna win in a sweep against Troy. They'll probably sweep Coastal Carolina. They're probably gonna sweep UOM.
For the tournament.
Yeah, it goes like it is. That's a big advantage for them here, for sure. So yeah, winning 3 of that there will be huge. Winning those 3 series will be huge for them. Southeastern, Louisiana Tech here. That's the 10th through the 12th. I'm trying to see what days they'll be. The problem with all that is it's in the middle of the week. So, yeah, so it's going to be hard for you to get to the ball games and stuff. We'll see what happens, but we'll see. Well, let's switch it here. And we're going to go to LSU softball. Number 12, LSU lost in a heartbreaker to Auburn. 1-0, 9 innings on Sunday afternoon. And, they lost the series to him. So, not very good in that regard there. It was a tough one, though. I mean, you go 9 innings and you lose 1-0. It's never a good sign, really, because you're like, dang, I could have got something there. They did win Saturday against them 3-2. They lost 3-5 on Friday. They got a Mississippi. Wait, what, Juicy?
I think Auburn's ranked too, though. Huh?
Yeah, Auburn is ranked number 21 in the country right now. McNeese, they played them in midweek. I think they'll beat McNeese. Mississippi State. I'm not too big of a fan. They have a teal game, but I'm not too big of a fan of LSU's teal uniforms. I think it looks weird.
I agree with you.
It's a very odd, like I guess you're trying to be different. So we'll look at RPI here with softball pretty soon here. So here's what the latest list got updated here. You usually update them on, like, this is April the 13th. LSU has an RPI of 5. So RPI speaking wise, and the Cajuns RPI of 13. That's also something to look at too. On the road, LSU's 8-2. They're 21-6 at home. Yeah, so RPI wise, they're looking pretty good. Mississippi State. I'm trying to see if I can. Oh, yep, that'll be easier to sort through. To find these teams that be trying to go there, like, okay, they're look at this number, like that's nice. But Mississippi State is 43 in RPI, so you would say LSU. I think LSU does get 2 or 3 against Mississippi State this week. What you think, Juicy?
I'm gonna agree with you. I think 2 out of 3 what it's gonna be.
Yeah, I get you. I understand that. That's gonna look very good on the resume with a win right there. So they're gonna have the Friday games gonna be SEC Network Plus. Saturday will be on ESPN2, and Sunday will be on SEC Network Plus here. So I think we've done very well so far. I mean, we have a lot of support on this podcast here. People sending us pictures and stuff here. We've started distributing our media out towards, we've had a lot of support from the Acadiana area, and we thank y'all for y'all continued support of the Fishbowl Radio. We couldn't do this stuff without y'all. So we just want to know what y'all opinions are, because I think a lot of people try to shroud people's comments by blocking them and stuff like that. So that's something we don't want to do here at the Fishbowl Radio, because we are the Fishbowl. Everything is supposed to be open here at the Fishbowl. Of course, we don't try to hide anything. Transparency is the best policy here on the Fishbowl. So anyway, y'all like us on Facebook or follow us on Facebook. You can find us on Twitter if you want to get your resources there. We got a page on there. Find us on Instagram. Our Twitter and Instagram has over 1,000 followers each. And we're on TikTok, the new age of TikTok, right? The new social media platform. That's kind of recent, really. So we're also on there too. And we are also on YouTube. I just kind of relaunched our YouTube channel. We've been posting videos like this video here. You will see it on YouTube. So subscribe to our YouTube channel to get all the latest updated things here. I might post some more like shorts and stuff on YouTube. I'm trying to see how all that works and stuff. So we'll see what happens with all that there. So, Juicy, want to say anything before we get off here?
No, I just want to say we appreciate y'all's opinions and input and comments on the links that we share sometimes, and we like to see where everybody stands at or opinions on things, like you said. So that's about it, though.
Yeah, I mean, it keeps a good idea on what the fan base is actually thinking. Like whether you're an LSU fan or you're a Louisiana Ragin Cajun fan, I think it's important to have both sides' opinion on things and how they look at things inside of our own state. This is our area, so there's a lot of LSU fans in this area. There's a lot of Ragin Cajun fans in this area. So, I think having this idea from a opinion of a G5 school compared to a P5 school and vice versa works really well. I mean, I want to do an episode one day, Juicy. I think this would be a really cool episode of how the Fishbowl came about. I think we could do a really good one, because we've been doing this would be probably our 11th year doing this, I think. I know you haven't been on the thing for 11 years, but me and Mike Honcho did it, so.
He's had some time away.
Yeah, he's probably sleeping by now, honestly. But yeah, like Juicy came on, I think, what year was that, Juicy? Was that 2015, 2014?
Something like that.
Yeah, I think you were around that time. But I mean, you've put in a good bit of years though here too at the Fishbowl. So 2 more years, you make 10 years over here, bro. Even though we.
A 4-week paid vacation.
Okay, we'll set you up there. So just an FYI, I won't be doing an episode next week. So if y'all want my opinion on stuff here, I mean, we'll try to keep up to date, because I will be out of the country. I'm going to be going to Cozumel and Yucatan on a cruise for me and my wife's 1-year anniversary. So that is
try to keep up with the comments.
We did get the internet. We did get the internet package. So if y'all want to give us a Facebook message call, because we're not gonna have no cell phone reception out in the middle of the Gulf of Mexico. There's no such thing as cellular towers out there, I don't think. Not that I'm aware of, which is probably why they sell you the package for what do they sell you to it for you. So, anyway, thank y'all for tuning into the Fishbowl Radio. I hope to hear from y'all soon. I hope you have a great and wonderful day, and we'll see y'all next time. Have a good night, Fishbowl Nation. Okay, we good. That should be good.